Hello les corbeaux, Red Joker, nouveau générique.
Dégage! Mais je suis arrivé!
Il y a des choses sur la route et...
Oui, moi aussi, avec quelque chose sur ma route.
Et heureux, faut savoir que je vais normalement bientôt récupérer mon habitude. Heureux à cette idée. Alors, est-ce que c'est correctement? Pas du tout. Ah mais ok, d'accord. Peut-être parfois bon. La sensibilité, pas forcément top ici. Est-ce que là ça marche? Ouais, il faut que je le... Ça marche. Non, parce qu'il faut que je sois comme ça en fait pour qu'ils m'entendent correctement. Si je pars de l'autre sens, forcément on m'entend pas. Donc c'est juste parce que je ne suis pas en face du micro. Là on m'entend. Où est-ce que j'ai... Là j'ai pas de soucis de micro. Là j'ai des soucis. Là j'ai pas de soucis de micro. En fait à partir du moment où je parle comme ça, c'est bon. Mais il faut que je sois vraiment en face. C'est un peu agaçant quand même. Donc si je regarde à droite au niveau de mon écran, bah du coup ça fout la miel là. Faire ça comme ça, je vais pas m'emmerder. J'espère juste dans le 3/4 du temps. Devant la bouche en fait, si. Bon. Là par contre, oui, voilà. Effectivement, il faut juste encore plus. Le truc qui m'emmerde, c'est que ça. Non, ça va, on n'entend plus. Je pense que c'est déjà mieux. T'es en train de me saouler, putain de bordel de merde. Bref. Je sais même plus ce que je devais faire. Alors, les quests. Arrivé compliqué parler à Marco Jansen. Je vais juste revenir dans 3 secondes, j'ai juste testé un truc. Ok, c'est bon. Encore retouché. Pour la dernière fois. Normalement, là, on est pas mal. Non, 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 non. Attends, juste que je... Tac, 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 je veux. Voilà. Ah! C'est avec qui la cité? Got a message. Oh. Ok. Et je veux pas commencer la construction d'un avant-poste, pourquoi tu m'emmerdes depuis tout à l'heure avec ton avant-poste? Car le fiot de ton avant-poste. Au revoir, citoyen.
You're out there a lot, right?
Je crois qu'il me dit d'aller dehors. Sanctuary books.
Could I get a digital copy of the things I buy here?
No.
No.
What? Why not?
Feel free to read. This is a haven for... Yes. I had a husband, but he's no longer with us.
C'est
We
qui
loved
us?
to travel, and always we'd be looking for rare books. Most of what you see here are mementos. It's sometimes hard to sell, but books are not meant to be hoarded. They're meant to be shared and spark something in us.
Je suis entièrement d'accord avec elle.
I am a bit of an aficionado of old Earth novels. Well, truth be told, it's more of an obsession. Reading their stories is a revelation, not only for, the pure imagination, but the window you get into long-gone historical eras. I'll pay handsomely for any books you find like that. Except Charles Dickens. Definitely not Charles Dickens.
Ok.
Oh, nothing wrong at all. When colonists were forced to leave Earth for good, cargo space was precious, and for some reason everyone thought to bring their Charles Dickens collection. No, I mean, he was
Remarqué qu'il y a pas mal
an
de Charles
amazing
Dickens.
writer. His stories are timeless, but what I'd give for a copy of Sense and Sensibility, or the Three Musketeers, oh! The original Three Musketeers, mind you, not the dozens of interpretations of it. Who doesn't? Oh, I'm sorry. There's nothing you have I don't have or am interested in. Sorry. Movies, slates, theater, all have their appeal. But books, you can get a window to mankind in its earliest days. Whether adventure with Homer, or the
Simpson.
actual thoughts of Julius Caesar penned in his own hands. And they offer visions of the future and wonderfully impossible things and might-have-beens. So, yeah, I do like books.
Très bien.
I sell books, physically.
Je lui ai dit, il a fait un truc, est-ce qu'il aurait pas un
Certainly.
truc de renforcement? Par hasard. David Copperfield. Livre twist.
Space is a premium on my ship. If I could download it to my slate, I could have a whole library.
There are places you can go for that, fam. Just not my shop. Good day.
Wait.
Okay. Well, I've had that effect on people before.
The work. This thing is, a man should provide for his family, not drag them down. Got tired of living under the boot. The UC always tells you what to do and how to do it. If you're down, they want to keep you there. I thought maybe hard work and patience would lead to better things, but it became clear that that was never going to happen. The only way out was to leave the UC behind. So I brought the family here. Things aren't much better, but at least I don't have the piglets breathing down my neck anymore. Moving out here cost a lot. Now we're barely getting by. It's impossible to save up anything so Liv can have a future. Truth is, I was a fool to think anything would change. Now Simone and I barely talk, and Liv, that's even worse. You know what the worst thing for a parent is? To look into your child's eyes and see pity. That's how you know you've hit rock bottom. We've been given as much charity as I can stomach. Without the Low House, I mean, there's something, but it's a hell of a thing to ask. Remember, you asked. Simone, my wife, has got a cousin, Milena Exelrod. Truthfully, I never much cared for Milena. But she runs freight, and I know her routes sometimes take her this way. Milena is family. Might be she'd do something for her kin. I'm looking for a job, and I'll do anything. Well, anything legal. Milena's United Colonies, like us, and I know she's got problems of her own with Aquila City. You are an answer to our prayers. Milena called Simone yesterday. I'm pretty sure she's still in the system. Just giving me any hope. It's a lot.
Et bah allons-y. Ah ouais, il y a un truc que je comprends pas. Je suis quelle planète? Là actuellement je suis sur Aquila et du coup je suis sur Montara. Let's travel.
Back in the lap of luxury.
Euh... Bah oui, mais parce que je suis un connard. Parce que j'ai tout foutu en astromoteur bêtement et que j'ai oublié de me le refoutre de correctement.
I could really see loving it here. We left Sidonia looking for a bed.
Oui,
We've been
ta
given-
gueule.
I mean, there's. Remember? Simone. But she runs free. Milena's family.
Oui, oui,
I'm looking
oui.
for a job. Milena's United. You are an answer. Milena calls. Just.
Ça, je devrais pouvoir le préparer avant de partir. Pas de me retrouver en plein milieu de la baston bêtement en fait. Il va te faire... Je n'ai même pas le temps. J'arrive dans le système.
I could really see loving.
Je ne peux pas y toucher avant d'être dans l'espace. C'est quand même débile.
It here. We left Sidonia. We've been given. I mean, there's something. Remember? Simone. But she runs. Milena's family. I'm looking for a job. Milena's United. You are. Milena calls him. Just.
Je vais sauvegarder parce que ça commence à me saouler de me retaper cette conversation à la con. Ensuite. Je sais même pas comment je peux faire ça, vu que ça prend une plombe. Je vais me foutre dans en orbite d'Aquila, parce que j'ai pas le choix. Parce que c'est de la merde. Et vu que je serai en orbite d'Aquila, j'aurai pas d'autre choix que de garder quand même un peu au niveau de l'astromoteur. Ça me saoule. Ça, c'est sûrement l'un des trucs les plus à chier du jeu. Les combats spatiaux sont mal foutus. Je vais me foutre à Montara Luna. Mais pardon? Je vais remourir. Jamais dit de faire ça.
We've taken out their shields.
1-0. Coco, je peux déjà te dire que t'es mort.
You've taken down their shield. Enemy's grav drive disabled. Grav jump system flatlined.
Waste of time.
Yes! Grav drive back. We can't send.
Pourquoi t'ouvres ta bouche, toi? Qu'importe l'endroit où je me fous, ces connards arrivent. J'ai mon bouclier à fond, ça se passe bien. Je peux pas voyager, putain. En orbite. Allez, comme ça. Mais je vais tous les avoir là sur le dos. Bon, là maintenant j'ai un ramen sur le cul.
Their grav drive's down.
Thank you, Mantis.
Bon.
Mantis. We take that ship down, we'll be legends.
Eh ben on me take down, il va falloir déjà réussir dessus.
Grabs in the red.
You took out their jump drive. Enemy's grav drive out of commission.
C'est con, hein.
Shield system is offline.
Thanks for the assist. You're welcome to board.
déjà ils m'ont cassé les couilles pendant 4 plombes là. Et des crédits en plus, parfait.
Docking site complete.
Oh, if fighting the fleet doesn't get the juices flowing, you're doing it wrong. Ah, it's supposed to be safe around here, but Cheyenne has always been just a giant bastard to me. Unless you're a native. In which case, oh my god, I love what you've done with the place. Ha! I knew it! I knew it! Simone should have told me. Her and Marco are so damned proud. I'd love to help them out. Might be I've got a checkered history with the fine city of Aquila. If you clear up any lingering hard feelings, then I could resume doing business there. I'd set up Stick-Up-His-Ass Marco as my official importer. Then wins all around. I used to do cargo hauls for the mayor, and he got really upset that I might have been carrying more than I ought to. We had some words, maybe one fat lip, not mine, and now I'm persona non grata. Well, two paths I see. The trade authorities got a fixer named Tom Starrett. He might be able to facilitate things. Or Mayor Cartwright. God, that windbag. Well, if he'd take a sorry, that would work. Fat chance. Either way, I expect credits will be on the line. On the back end, I could afford to give you a taste of the action. Not sure it'll cover the fees. Ah, music to my ears, friend. Marco doesn't deserve you. But Simone, she's one of the good ones. You square things away. Just let Marco know.
There are many more freezing worlds than cozy ones. You'd think we'd take care of the cozy ones more.
Alors ça c'est bien parce que toi t'as vraiment eu un moment de dialogue sans intérêt. Je sais pas d'autres mots. Vraiment sans intérêt ce que tu viens de me dire. Et pas intéressant non plus. C'est impossible de porter cet enfant. Et bon maintenant je peux voyager rapidement. Ou est-ce que ça va encore me casser les murs là? Merci. Welcome to Aquila City.
Okay.
Yeah?
If you're looking for a sidearm,
Private sector. That's what
Tom Starrett.
I do jobs for the Trade Authority. Milena wants back?
The Trade Authority always likes facilitating business, but she's got a considerable bounty on her. Captains associated with us can land here. I even have some credentials on hand. And wouldn't you know it, the captain's name is blank. If she had set credentials and put her name on them, well, she couldn't land. But if any other name was in there, any name at all, well, I think that might clear it up. The Trade Authority has a separate arrangement. As long as a hypothetical captain kept a low profile, why, she could do business here indefinitely. She should talk with us. We have a lot of common ground. I'll contact Milena right away. I'm sure she'll put them to good use. Pleasure doing business with you.
Let's get out of here and do anything else. The Trade Authority always grinds my gears.
Je te comprends. Ah bah ça. D'accord. Go to you.
Every time I feel queasy asking for help, I remember Liv. It's all for her. Milena contacted me. She's making me her official importer. I'm not sure how much it pays, but I'll take it. You have no idea what you've done. I figured it might be something like that. I'll make sure to keep my distance from any of that. I can't wait to tell Simone. This is the first ray of sunshine we've seen in years.
Well, it is a good thing then.
I'm sorry.
J'aimerais bien trouver l'appel, mais je peux pas encore y aller parce que je n'ai pas
When's the report due anyway?
la puissance nécessaire pour aller voir le système Caribe. Or. Je serai actif.
Look at me. Something to report?
Not now.
People joke. Say those Rune zealots worship a snake. Let me tell you.
Welcome to the Co-Heritage Museum. I offer a brief tour and I'm happy to discuss the city's history as well.
Back point is, do I care?
Everything you see here is a piece of Aquila City's history. That is not something I expected to hear today. I assume you're somehow associated with the United Colonies? I've received some odd messages of late. Most in the collective aren't overly fond of MAST or the UC in general. I tend to share that sentiment. Lost a cousin in the colony war, you know.
I can understand your hesitance, but this has nothing to do with the UC or the FC. There's a chance that people could get hurt.
Don't try and lecture me, please. Well, I'm afraid you've wasted your time because I'm not authorized, nor particularly inclined, to release any of our pieces. That includes 100-year-old tree branches. Sorry,
but it's staying in storage. I have artifacts that date all the way back. I hear what you're saying, but I'm afraid it's out of the question. Handing over that branch is starting to look pretty good.
Is it?
I guess I don't want to impede anything important. I can't believe I'm doing this. Please return it in one piece.
Ah bah à ce moment-là, dépend du tome. Hein. One Piece, c'est long. Hein.
Just doesn't add up.
Have you paid a visit to Miss Castler in Aquila City?
Ouais, tu commences à me casser les couilles avec tes trucs.
Yes, yes, of course. I'll see that it is returned to her in one piece. Well, perhaps minus
Beaucoup du One Piece ici.
Now, I just need a
Bon, qui dit
moment
Luffy
to
qui va finir par
analyze
arriver.
this and synthesize an audio response to our friend here. Right, so we'll feed in a sample. Now the program will incorporate the genetic and chemical makeup of the sample, extrapolating the size and structure of the original tree. This was put together rather hastily, so...
Can you believe this tree was here before the city?
And there it is. Our best hope for a positive solution to this mess. So, we now have a simulated response to our tree. All that's left is to play it. An excellent question. I have been wondering myself. I've been forced to listen to this SSNN kiosk chatter incessantly this entire time. I think it could be put to better use. We don't have time to go through the proper channels, but if you can find a terminal and get this uploaded into their system, it might do the trick.
Into this.
I have no doubt that you will.
Do you need something?
Need something?
I've been trying to exit as but I needed help if I had the proper team.
If you've seen something interesting, let me know. If it pans out into a full story, you'll be compensated. Welcome to SSNN, where the news never sleeps.
Ouais, bah t'as l'air
If
de
you're part of
dormir,
the
toi.
David Barron fan club, try not to inflate his ego too much. He's liable to burst. A cog in the machine. If you mean literally, Nadia Mufaz, head researcher of the office. So if we got any facts wrong, I'm the one who files your complaint into the shredder. We spend hundreds of hours digging into stories, sorting the lies from the damned lies. Then David performs a 2-minute segment and wins an award. Who'd have a problem with that? Sorry. Long day. Longer night. How about a do-over? Let's take a look at you. You're not from around here. My guess is you really work for a living. I bet you have a story or two. I have a feeling about such things. Sounds like an old pickup line. But it really has, hasn't it? I'm interested only in primary sources. So things you've seen and or done that are newsworthy. No hearsay. So, what do you got for me? You certainly get around. I'm surprised that branch has any customers left the number of times it's been held up. But I thought the Rangers had finally managed to get a handle on it. I heard there was a standoff. That true? I hear the robbers are provided free of charge. All part of the service. What happened to the robbers? The Shaw gang? You did what? I mean, you're well spoken, but a hostage negotiator? I'll do some research and make sure that checks out. These things are often messy. Any customers or Galbank staff get hurt?
Nope.
That's really good news. Usually, well, it's a different kind of story. You were there. You were involved in resolving it. Any comment on the Freestar Rangers? Having another high-profile robbery in their own backyard is a bit of a black eye. Huh. That's really good to know. Stories like this always fire up public outrage and appetite. Thanks for the interview. And take this.
SSNN is doing what it can. It's just that people are hard to reach these days.
Here to report anything else?
Makes it harder to relay drama.
Dear Lord, everyone wants to know about Baron. He's a smart guy. He cares about what he's reporting. He's way too damn cozy with the UC, and that's a problem for us staying impartial. My biggest beef with him is he's credited with everything he reports, and he doesn't lift a finger to correct that impression. We're short-staffed, overworked, and trying to report on a million things at once. Not to mention there's a constant battle with the powers that be to maintain our journalistic principles. So, things are just swell. Looks like some Crimson Fleet brainiac figured out it's easier to hit stationary targets than dogfighting in the field. And you are an eyewitness with the courtesy to find us instead of being chased down. Refreshing. So what were the pirates doing there? It's not their usual MO.
Oh yeah, that. I don't remember much. You can take it from here, Captain.
Bad blood between the fabled Constellation and the Crimson Fleet? Has all the markings of what we in the SSNN call a story. So what's your role in all this? Part of a tour group? Wow, an actual member of Constellation graces my office. Do we bow? Maybe smoke a pipe? So we've covered the basics. How about any harrowing tales of daring do? How'd a bunch of miners triumph? How heartwarming. Constellation banding together with some dusty miners. I like it. This is a good local story. Plucky miners band together and punch above their weight. If you ever get more stories like this, drop by. And take this to cover any incidentals, or other creative ways to pad out an expense report.
On n'a pas
You have
fini.
another story for me? Really? To say you have my undivided attention is an understatement. A lot of people were there. The accounts we've got were chaotic. What was your role in that? Sounds like maybe you're being modest. Security isn't exactly trained for that scenario. But all right. The whole city is still on edge over the attack. We were fortunate, damn fortunate, that casualties were so low. What was it like in the thick of things? That makes what you did even more, well, amazing. It sounds like New Atlantis, heck, the whole UC, owes you a great debt. Any closing comments? I already have a good story here. That makes me feel better. I feel like such a sap, but it does. Hey, Constellation? From all of us that live here, thanks. We use the word hero a lot in news, but you really are one.
Je savais pas que je pouvais me faire du pognon en revendre mes trucs. Ça va être sympa, peut-être qu'ils mettront des petites histoires. Oh, épisode. Voilà. Parfait.
Administrations come and go in the big city, but SSNN is here to stay.
We've done it! I'm already seeing reductions in the strength of the vibrations. The tree is calming down. I can hardly believe that worked. I did my best, but it's not magic. There are no guarantees. I don't know. We've been in uncharted territory this whole time. That doesn't... With the immediate crisis hopefully over, and certainly I'll be keeping... And you have saved this tree and advanced. You have my gratitude and...
Bonjour, plus d'argent. Très sympa. On va faire cet appel de détresse de Karim. C'est tout pas. Au moins y accéder, donc bon. Ok. J'ai acheté un bouquin, ça doit se très bien.
You are entering United Colony space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. And we're done. Enjoy new...
Donc, une vie que je... Pas ça.
Welcome to New Homestead. Please make your way to the building at the end of the path and down into the colony below. Stay safe and enjoy your visit.
Anything I... Hey, what can I do for you? I'm sure you can find something you like.
Bon. Burial. C'est pas dégueu. C'est beau.
Okay, no problem.
Ok. J'ai l'impression qu'en termes de lance-mission, on peut quand même avoir beaucoup. Pas mal ça. Oh wow.
Feel free to look around.
Finally, a museum. Now we're in the good stuff.
C'est un musée.
Welcome to New Homestead.
Merci.
The people here live a simple life. Try not to complicate it.
New Homestead is a living history exhibit. But these are real people.
Someone's got to talk to Joyce about these brownouts.
Oh, Joy.
Do you come from one of those planets with beautiful skies and fresh air? My, how... Ah, someone new. Oh, you'd be lucky to own a private room, let alone a whole house. I'm fascinated by the other worlds. Oh, wonderful. What's New Atlantis like? Oh, that's disappointing. It must be a matter of personal taste, then. Do you mind if I ask you another? Thanks. Is the Freestar Collective as low? I figured the stories weren't all true. How else would you expect people to live together if you can't trust in laws to keep everyone safe? Even in a small community like... Though, I understand it gets Is it okay if I change this up?
Alors,
Oh, thank you. Are there really planets full of plants? I've read about them. I've only ever known. I've always dreamed of visiting one to breathe the. Can I ask you something else? Thanks. I promise not to take too much of your time.
C'est déjà en train.
Is space travel as Well, if you say, I suppose it stands to reason for a place. Those are all the questions I have at the moment.
Très bien.
My papa doesn't really like me talking to the tourists, but how else am I going to learn about...
My pop. On est clairement dans Fallout. Hein.
Hi there. Always nice to see a new face.
That's way more awesome wherever you come from than it is here.
Oula, je mets de la gravité ici aussi.
We take vandalism seriously here.
Very informative.
You don't mess
I
with
didn't
history.
know about the methane harvesters.
Ah, Tulay. Hello there.
Better than I expected from a backwoods planet like this.
Wonderful. There isn't much of this stuff left. If you have any questions.
See us again sometime. And
When our early colonists learned of Earth's... Now, some may have been lost. For instance, my family comes...
Excuse me, Bill.
It's an interesting story. New Homestead began. The hope was that humanity, when that ultimately failed, then finally... Of course, certainly. We have everything from toys to antique. Most of our collection was donated by... I am Maurice Leon, and I am the community. I tell stories.
Il fait pas du tout 96 ans.
Memory. Thanks for visiting.
It's one thing to learn about early colony life. It's another to experience it.
Why, hello there! I'm Bill. For instance, did you know that New Homestead was one of the first colonies established? Yes, sirree, and that's not... So what do you say? Excellent! Now there's just the matter of... well... I assure you it wasn't intentional. Maybe... I know, I gotta work on my pitch. Tell you what, I like you. So let's get... All right, so... This is New Homestead's main concourse. This underground area didn't exist when the original outpost, Titan Astro Base, was finished in 2130. Follow me. We'll come back here by the end of the tour and talk about the museum collection. But first, let's go see where people live. Now remember, these people aren't actors. They actually live here, so try to be respectful of that. While the original inhabitants of the Titan Astro Base lived in pods like you saw up above, they transitioned down here when this section of the base was finished in 2144. Space is extremely limited, so you'll notice some overflow here, but more residences also exist on lower levels, which are inaccessible to tours. I'll stop at each of our destinations if you want to look around, or if you have any questions for me. Have any questions so far? Sadly, it's difficult to get additional... So for now, additional populations are housed in these It's not glamorous, but... Alrighty, we'll be taking the Let's leave these good people alone for now and go check out the farms. Follow me up the elevator.
Careful. There are some dangerous areas around here that are not part of any tours.
New Homestead's farms are the beating heart of the colony. Without them, the original outpost would have shriveled and died. These pods are sealed and climate controlled, the perfect environment for growing the hydroponic vegetation needed for survival in the early days of the colony. Any questions about... Onward it is! We'll be stopping by the Brown Horse Tavern later in the tour, which uses many of these locally sourced ingredients in their cooking. But for now, it's just a short way to our next stop. Follow me! So, the old biolabs are just on the other side of this building, believe it or not. We'll step on through the hallway there. They're not in use anymore, but the colony has faithfully recreated them as a historical exhibit, true to the original purpose of the Titan Astrobase. Sadly, they're undergoing some light renovation. Otherwise, there'd be interactive activities for kids to learn about how they used to search for microbial life here.
It's a little weird that people come here to see what early colony life was like. To me, it's just how we live.
Pardon the dust, but I can still answer You got it! On to our next stop! Next, we'll be heading outside, so make sure to check those seals on your suit because it's a bit chilly out there. We're going out into the
ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else.
Watch your step outside, by the way. The ice can be slippery if you're not careful. The goal is to keep people out of Dr. Lakota's infirmary.
This is a boring assignment, but let's keep it.
Non, sérieusement? Sors de là!
You don't want to get hurt.
Anyway, where were we?
Dr.
Yes.
Lakota really
Powering New Homestead. As you might imagine, generating energy was a real challenge back in the day because the technology was much more crude then. But crude or not, it was that technology that sustained the old Astrobase. And it might surprise you to learn that the same technology is still working today. The interesting thing about this old colony is that it's mostly powered by clean, renewable energy. You'll see one of the methods used on the horizon up ahead. That's right! New Homestead's famous wind farms! This spot was chosen for the colony in part because of its constant winds. These turbines have been integral to the colony's function since its establishment as a cheap, mostly reliable source of electricity. So, let's talk about wind power, shall we? You're the boss. Let's go. Moving right along, we're going to learn about Titan's great natural resources. Titan is rich with hydrocarbons like methane and ethane. Surely you saw huge pools of this stuff on your descent into New Homestead. I like to think they add to the natural beauty of this world.
Le problème principal, c'est vraiment que le personnage est plus lent que moi quand je cours et plus rapide que moi quand je marche.
Just like my last ex-wife's pet. She had this gorgeous, I don't know what you'd call it, creature. The guy that sold it to her couldn't tell her what it was or where it was from. I don't think it was even a legal sell, to be honest. The thing was very easy on the eyes. Feathers, all the colors of the rainbow. Nasty bite, though. Wound up in the hospital and almost lost my hand. Still not enough for her to get rid of the dang thing. Anyway, there's a reason she's my ex-wife. But enough about me. We were talking about methane and other resources, right? Hey, can you believe it? Back in the 20th century on Earth, they used to fight wars over natural resources like this and petroleum. They had this whole moon here basically made of hydrocarbons in their own backyard. They just couldn't get to it. Incredible how far we've come. New Homestead is home to one of the oldest and largest methane processing plants in the settled system. Every year, UC engineers go through a painstaking, month-long maintenance process. That's how this place has remained operational as long as it has. I'm not going to take you too close to the machinery, liability and all, but I can still answer questions.
I still don't care.
Questions? Okie dokie, artichoke. There will be time for more later anyway. So, this next stop is a bit of an interesting one. I only recently made it part of the tour. Fun fact, it's also the only natural landmark on the tour. What we're about to see is a glacial spire we affectionately call Ymir's Horn. This collis used to be named after a character in a popular fantasy novel, but it was changed a couple hundred years ago to avoid any potential litigation. Now, what's a collis, you might say? Collis derives from the Latin word for hill, and scientists only gave names to groups of hills on a planet's surface. So in reality, the term you hear more often is the plural, colles, with an E. You probably don't hear it very often where you're from, because it was usually a term reserved for unexplored planets, back when they didn't have the technology to describe what they were seeing firsthand. Because of that, the term is much more common in the Sol system, but you may still hear it occasionally in reference to uncharted worlds. This planet's full of them, though, and they like to preserve that history here. So here it is. Excellent. So we're gonna head back inside through the methane processing plant. Try not to touch anything on your way. We want to make sure to respect Dr. Lakota's wishes to be safer around here.
Avance ou je te tire une balle.
You'll notice the people around here have last names related to where their families originated from on Earth as a way to remember the past. The museum curator, Maurice Leon, has more information about that if you're interested. You can find him inside the main concourse. Loves talking about it. You'll find most of the locals here are very friendly to tourists like yourself. Tourism is a major draw to this colony these days, and I respect that. Most of them are happy to talk at length about what they do here. Their rugged lifestyle is a point of pride for a lot of these folks.
Qu'est-ce qu'on s'amuse? Faut que t'avances, connard.
Those folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job preserving its traditions.
I don't mind the tourists. They help the local economy.
This area we're walking through is the nerve center of the plant, where technicians keep an eye on the operation. Since methane production is such an important part of the colony's livelihood, it's important that the techs notice any issues and react to them quickly. Anyway, we're headed into the ice mines. It's a natural spring where water bubbles up from deep below, but due to the cold, it keeps freezing as it reaches the surface.
C'est chiant. En plus ça bug.
What else can I tell you about? Sounds good. We have just one more stop before we're done with the tour, and it just happens to be my favorite. This colony is home to the longest-running establishment still in existence, the Brown Horse Tavern. The Brown Horse started as a simple mess hall for the scientists and workers when the underground was built, but it's been operated by the same family ever since. Now, what's a horse, you might say? They were a large four-legged animal on Earth, often used for transportation or manual labor. Long before space travel was even a dream for the folks of Earth, even before antique machines like automobiles were possible, horses could be found everywhere. You might have seen them in old movies or read about them somewhere. If not, I highly recommend looking into them sometime. They're beautiful animals. The tavern's original owner was infatuated with them, from what I understand, and named the place in their honor. The moniker, Brown Horse Tavern, is also a throwback to names of similar Earth restaurants hundreds of years before it was established.
But you're probably right.
Warm food, cold drinks. What else could... Welcome! I'm... Oh, well, thank you for... We've got an assortment of food and... So, what can I do for... Let me show you what we have.
Non, toujours pas ce que je cherche depuis 4 plombs.
How about those brownouts last week?
You mean the Brown Horse? Well, it's all... There's a lot of history within these walls. My great-great... Back then, it was a simple mess hall that she...
The tourists hated that.
The locals pretty much stay away from chunks, so whenever they don't feel like cooking themselves and want a fresh meal, only the tourists eat that junk. He manages the chunks. I love it. Take care. Thanks for stopping by.
Lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing.
This colony's a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
You get used to
This is a pretty common method of mining on snowball planets even today. Maybe low-tech, but it's effective.
Hey, boss. I'm just glad the auxiliary power picked
Mais qu'est-ce qu'il fout là, lui?
up. Remember that time a few years back where everyone had to...
That delicious... Okay then. All right, we're headed to the last stop, right back where we began. Feel free to check out the museum exhibit in the main concourse here. These displays are full of rare Earth trinkets salvaged from before humanity left, and Maurice is happy to talk about the collection. The museum's curator, Maurice, will be happy to talk to you if you want to know more. Well, that's that! I hope you enjoyed Starsap Tours as Oh, wow. I really enjoy the rest of...
You know what? I'll match that. Fascinating bits on the hydro.
C'est chaud comme la pluie, mais il était passionné. Donc,
the fumarolic ice towers. And you were so patient explaining it. Now, if you'll excuse us.
Take care!
Ah, il est content. Bon, il était où, moi?
Hello.
Salut.
That's a nice outfit you got. I could probably offer you a good price for it. Well, hello there. Oh, nice. You know, it's always such a pleasure. I'm Jay. I'm happy to help you find what you're looking to buy or take a look at whatever you want to sell. Trades of all kinds are welcome here. Or if you have any questions for me about... Glad you asked. I'm looking for all sorts of things. Anything, really. Clothes. We don't get a lot of off-world stock. Between you and me, people around here... I love them. Most of us... Some are indifferent about it. Well, but that being said, we used to, but not anymore. Believe it or not, the new homestead tour, we don't really have the resources. Or only thing we have are these... Tell you what, I've got... Sure thing. I'm all...
Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il a, lui? Aligneur. Ah, ne me lèche pas les doigts. Actuellement, c'est sympa, mais... Maël, toi en veut-on? C'est quand même régulièrement des câlins, je sais pas pourquoi est-ce que là t'es... Et là, les trucs, les trucs, ça va, c'est chiant. Ok. Ah,
Take care.
bon, on va s'arrêter là. C'est la moquette. Normalement. Bonne soirée, vas-y. Bye.